Well, students, we're gonna keep working on these bugs. If you have not finished with marker, that's the first thing I would like you to do. So you can see that I still have a couple of lines right here to finish that pattern. And I have my stinger that I need to do. If you still have some of your legs or something, go ahead and finish that up. Then I would like you to erase any of the pencil that you can still see before you color it. So got a little bit more erasing yet to do. I'm gonna show you a couple things that are gonna be a good way to do this. I do wanna make sure that you're thinking about symmetry. Both sides are the same. I also want you to be thinking about pattern, things that repeat. And you can think about the color wheel too, where we're making, where we're gonna be thinking about colors that work together to either make new colors or that connect well on the color wheel. So here, this first example that I'm gonna do is an example of just outlining things and then coloring it in carefully. So here with this part, I'm gonna outline that and then I'm gonna fill it in, okay? Then we said that if we have an antenna on this side, then I'm gonna make sure that that purple antenna is purple on this side too. If it's a new shape, please make it a new color. So here, this is a new shape. So I'm gonna make sure that this is a different color. I wouldn't just do green, green. But since this one is orange on that side, this one's orange. One thing that I like to do that I think is a good idea is using maybe two different purples. So I could do like outline with one, fill with another, I think is a good way to go. So if I outline with a dark purple, then I could fill with a light purple. And I think that just gives it a good mix. Now, if you don't have like two different purples or two different blues or two different greens, I'm gonna show you another option too. So we'll do that on that. But I think like that color looks so much better because I outlined with one and then I filled with another, where I didn't do that here. But if that happens, you can always go back and I could add a different blue to this to give it a mix. And one other cool thing is that white goes with everything. So if I don't have a different blue, but I had a white, I could mix white on it. Also, like this green, I didn't, I used this green. So I'm gonna come back and I could add a different green to it. So you can always go back and do that if you didn't outline with one and fill with another. This is an example if I don't have two different greens or two different blues or two different pinks. I'll put the color wheel up so you can see like what's next to it on the color wheel. So for example, red is next to orange on the color wheel. So I could take red and I could outline this. And if you don't have two different reds, then I can just put orange next to it. We will spend more than just today working on these, so there's no reason to go too fast. So I've outlined that. Then I'm gonna put orange next to it, because orange is next to red, and then that creates kind of an orange-red mix. Let's talk a little bit about pattern making too. I do like to press it on hard, so you might just put your finger right down at the tip at the end in order to press it on nice and hard. So here is my example of a pattern of white, blue, white. So next is gonna be my blue. And I wouldn't just scribble all over the whole thing, so please make sure that you're outlining here. Going around this, and then I can fill it in. And you can see that I haven't added another color to it yet, which I think I will in a minute. And do an example. Blue is next to purple on the color wheel. So blue and purple could really be a nice mix to create kind of a bluish purple. Or I could just do two different blues. Let's do that down here too, so it matches the pattern. So then I have white, blue, purple, white, blue, purple. And then let me do an example for these legs also. Since we're doing a lot of patterning, I would like you to do patterning on the legs also. So I might just outline with dark green, and then I'm gonna do that over here too. Outline with dark green, and then I'm gonna fill with light green. And then I'm gonna make it a pattern. So I think I'm gonna do dark green, light green, and then I'm gonna do purple, light purple for these. I would outline my purple, and then I would fill this with my light purple, and do the same thing over here so that both sides are the same. And then I do want to turn it into a pattern, so I've got dark green, dark purple, light purple, dark green, light green. So please think about patterning on the legs. And when you continue, I would like you to keep working on adding some patterning to this stuff. Continuing to add patterning to these legs, making sure that both sides are the same. You can see that it's taking me a long time to color it, so next week we'll finish coloring it. Please also make sure that we're not coloring in the background. We're just gonna leave the background yellow. We will eventually do the border, but the focus is gonna be on the bug. That's why I don't want you to draw things around it. Leave the background blank, please. Let's have fun working on these imaginary bugs.